Jerry Jones isn't a football guy. He's a business guy. And Dak Prescott, if Jerry was sitting on that Shark Tank panel and Dak Prescott came up and said, I'm a business, Dak Prescott's the future. I don't think he's as good as Tony Romo. I don't think he'll ever be as good as Tony Romo. But if you don't think Jerry Jones is simply from a business standpoint thinking about Dak as the future of the Cowboys, of course he is. I think to some level he's emotionally moved on from Tony Romo. And I don't think Dak's ever going to be as good as Tony Romo. I don't think there have been many quarterbacks in the last 5-10 years as good as Tony Romo. There have been about 6 or 7, maybe. But if you don't think Jerry's moved on, I think Jerry's moved on. Because I think Jerry moves on all the time. I think Jerry moved on from a stadium in Dallas 5 years before they moved out of it. He'd moved on. I think the practice facility, before they built a new one, he'd moved out of it 5 years. He didn't have to publicly announce it, but I think he's moved on from Tony Romo. Dak Prescott's the future. If you look at Jerry Jones' history, he's about predicting the future. That's what he's done from oil to football to marketing to battling the NFL. Jerry Jones was the guy that had the St. Louis Rams in Los Angeles 5 years before they were in Los Angeles. He was the guy that went to the commissioner and went to Stan Kroenke and said, why are we having the drafts in a cold weather city? Move them to L.A. Why don't we have every third Super Bowl in L.A.? Why don't we have the Combine in L.A.? Why is it in Indianapolis? Why don't we put the NFL Network in L.A.? Business people are ahead of us. That's when they drive to work, you and I see headlights. They see land and opportunity. He's absolutely moved on from Tony Romo. Dak Prescott is the next business. It keeps the revenue going. It sells jerseys. It's good enough to win some games. So emotionally, I think he's moved on. And that's what he does. That's what business people do.